All right, this video I've been trying to do for a long time, how to teach power clean. We're going to do a lot of other videos with squat, bench, and things like that. Since myself and Coach Keys can't always be around, I'm hoping that these videos will help out a lot. We're going to start with the most technical lift of power clean. It's the hardest to teach, hardest to learn, hardest to do anything, but the athletic advantages you can get from power clean pay off in dividends if you take the time and you have the patience to get this lift down and teach it and do it. So we're going to go into the board. I'm going to show you the different areas. A lot of people think that you have to start from the bottom up, when in actuality we teach it from the top down. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to teach the front squat. Then we're going to go into what's called the power position. You talk about bar grip, hip position. We'll go above the knee pulls, and then above the knee cleans, below the knee pull clean, how to pick the bar up off the ground, and then finally we'll put it all together, work a power clean into a front squat, and then a full clean where you catch in a front squat position and stand up. Okay, let's go over here. Starting with this, so the front squat is also a lift that a lot of people use to complement the back squat. We learn front squat to go along with the cleans. First thing you want to do, set the bar up in a nice squat position where you get it off. That's easy enough for everybody. I like to tell athletes, take all their fingers, okay, place the fingers on the bar, just outside the shoulders. So if I come in, you can see that my hands are outside my shoulders in a good position. So take the bar off the rack, hands and fingers on. The very middle of the bar is going to go placed right above my collarbone. Place it actually on my throat. I'm not choking myself, but the bar's touching my neck. Once I get it here, I'm going to roll my elbows through and step back in a platform. Some of your athletes are going to need to stretch out. Their fingers might slip off. That's fine. It's all about wrist flexibility, finger flexibility, but the bar should be resting on the shoulders. If it is not resting on the shoulders, they're going to have a very hard time. They're going to complain about the wrist hurting and things like that. So get those elbows up high, bar sitting on the shoulders, nice comfortable position. Okay? Next thing, take those feet, set them just outside the hips in a nice powerful position. Some folks need to turn their toes out. Turn your toes out slightly, and the first movement you're going to do is you're going to actually break the hips. All I'm doing is pushing my hips back like I'm preparing to sit down in a chair, and once I do that, I'm going to descend in the lowest position possible, and as I go down, I'm going to actively push my elbows up so that I sit down, and I want my spine and back to be as vertical as possible. Heels sit back on the floor, nice and comfortable, so I can sit down in this position forever. The whole time, elbows up, elbows out, big chest. Drive it straight up. That's the front squat. Okay? Down, up. We want to go straight down and straight up. If you start to get your athletes, when they go down and they break here, too heavy, lack of core strength. Now to rack the bar, we walk it in, we set it down, put it in the rack. There's no need to be careful here. A lot of people want to be careful. It's weight room, we're not going to break anything. Put it in the rack, set it down. It's better to be loud than to miss a hook and drop the bar. Once they become comfortable with the front squat, you can move on and down into a power position, okay? But before we move on, a couple of things that you'll notice. When your kids front squat, or squat in general, you'll see a lot of them do this. If you watch my heels, they do this number here and they can't get down. Many times that's a direct correlation with lack of calf flexibility, so you can place some 10s or 5s under their feet. So you'd simply take some 5s, set them down on the ground, they would step back, have their feet up, and then magically they're able to sit down perfectly and squat and come up. You can use that until they gain the flexibility to do a full squat. Moving on, in the power position, from here, we would set the bar on the rack to approach. And the first thing I want to talk about is how to grip the bar. So if you come here, this is called a hook grip. Now, when I grip the bar with just my regular hands, as it gets heavy, I start losing grip and I can't hold on to a bar anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually grip the bar, pinch my thumb between my fingers and the bar. So when I grab, as you might be able to see here, pinching and grabbing on either side. And what that does is that naturally allows me to have my knuckles rolled underneath, which is exactly where you want them, okay? And I place my chest forward, knuckles underneath, and then it's really hard for that bar to slip out, and it's an excellent grip. You can hold on to a lot of weight, okay? Now, the power position, we call it power position because this is where we get very explosive in the power clean. So I'm here, I have the bar, big chest, everything is gripped, knuckles rolled underneath, and all I'm going to do is push the hips back. The bar's not traveling down my thigh, I'm not bending over, big chest, break the hip, right there. It should sit up really, really high on my hips. And we're going to practice pulling that bar and exploding up, just like this. Pull, 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 okay? Now I'm going to step out, turn around. This is the most important part of the power clean. This is why everybody does it. The triple extension. Extension of my knees, hips, ankles. Athletic, you do it in every sport. You can't tell me there's a sport that there's not a triple extension in, okay? And the last part is the shrug. So we practice, get my grip, big chest, shoulders back, flat back, push the hips back, triple extend and shrug. Back, shrug. Once they get that motion down, now we're going to work on just cleaning the bar. Right there. Now, that's going to take a long time to teach. They're going to want to pull the bar up. They're not going to know how to catch it. The bar ought to float up and go straight to my shoulders. That's why we practice the front squat over and over and over again so that they're comfortable here. It should not have this motion here. That's not good. Bar floats up and I drop my body underneath that bar. Okay? Now, you come in. Everybody always asks, what's the deal with the feet? Okay, why am I stomping heels? Okay? You see some people jump and do that real loud. That's not it. All I'm doing is taking my feet from a powerful vertical jump position up on my toes, and I shuffle them out so that I can go to a full squat. I can't squat here, but here I can. So when I stomp my feet up, right there, okay? Once they get really, really good at the explosion, the hip, they get it all, they can put it all together, they got good cleans. Now all we're going to do is descend from a power position to above the knee position here, down the thigh. This is where it tends to get just a little bit confusing, and you're going to spend the majority of your time teaching, okay? So I'm going to grab the bar, big chest, break the hips, and I'm going to continue over above the knee. Now, if you'll notice in this position, my weight is distributed back to my heels. Okay, you can see my feet, my toes are light. Everything stays on my heels. My shoulders should be slightly in front of the bar, maybe on top of the bar. My knuckles are still rolled underneath. And you're going to have to practice this over and over and over again. We're going to stand up to power position. Once I get to power position, I have to shift my weight forward, knees go forward, and the weight transfers from my heels to my toes, and now I'm ready to triple extend and shrug. So it's good to do it that slow, nearly 100 times before we start working fast. We go down, up, knees forward, shrug. Down, get good position, shoulders in front of the bar, weight back on the heels, stand up, knees forward, shrug. It takes a lot of practice. Once we get it down, we can speed it up. Over and over and over again, okay? Now, one concept that we talk about all the time is called a thigh brush. That bar ought to hit thighs and come up the body. Difficult for athletes to understand because they want that bar to start going, bounce out. Very bad for power clean. We want the bar to come up, knees go forward, that's where my thigh brush comes in, and that bar rides straight up my body, which makes it easy to catch, okay? Once the movement of the pull is figured out, we've got it done, all the kids can do it, now we're gonna start cleaning from here. Get in good position, up, maybe do a couple practice pulls, get the motion, then we're gonna come up, shuffle those feet, catch in a good position, stand up. Bring it down, readjust my grip, above the knee, stand up, knees forward, clean, pull, good to go. We practice that 100 times. Next position we have to do from here is just lower it down the body a little bit. Once we get below the knees, weight is still back on the heels, I have to negotiate my knees slightly. The whole time I'm pulling up, the bar ought to remain fairly close to my body. If I get out here, my weight's all jacked up. I'm out of my toes, I'm not on my heels. So I have to stand up, smooth, to power position. Again, knees forward, up, through. Once you figure out the above the knee position, the below the knee position is not that difficult. It's just an extension of what you've already done. So we grab the bar. We can go to power, lower it down to above, continue down to below. They'll figure out this position, nice and strong, weight distributed back to the heels. Stand up smooth through the heels, knees forward, weight transfers heels to toe, shrug. Practice. Eventually, I get to a clean, okay? Once they have that all figured out, it's time to learn how to pick up the bar. To pick up the bar today, I'm going to throw some weights on. There's a lot of 10-pound weights. These are 5 kilos, pretty much 10-pound weight also. That helps it a lot easier to pick up the bar and to learn with. Once we set the bar down, to first approach the bar, to pick up the bar, we're going to step up, and I want that bar to line up. My feet outside my hips in a powerful vertical jump position, meaning I can jump as high as I'm going to jump from this position. It should line up over the bottom part of your shoelaces or where your toe joint meets. Right there. You do not want to pull it all the way into your shins. Okay? Once I have this position, I want to descend down, arms outside, my knees in strong position. I have the hook grip ready. Now, before we pick the bar up, once I get positioned, my angle of my back, so my back angle here should run parallel to my shin angle. That's a general rule of thumb. You're going to have some athletes that have legs up to here and an upper body this short. So that's not going to work out so well. Their back is going to be a little bit flatter. Okay? So I want to get set. Roll that bar in. Now, I need to get strong. I'm going to tighten up my whole body. I'm going to take a deep breath in. Everything should be tight. There shouldn't be a muscle in my body that I'm not trying to flex right now. I want to pull all the slack out of the bar, meaning I'm going to be picking up the bar a little bit right now. And for liftoffs, we're just going to pick up and set down. Pick up and set down. Practice driving heels into the ground. Number one problem that comes with this, okay, is a kid will pick up, they'll have too much weight on the bar, they'll pick up, this is the first thing that happens. My weight has instantly gone from heels to toes. That shouldn't happen until that bar gets here. So we have to practice light, and it's a core strength issue. All right? Once we get the liftoffs done, we're going to put it all together with a bunch of pulls. Sometimes we call these the power pulls. Okay? We get set. Heels, 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 heels. Now I'm in power position. Toes go forward, shrug. Put it all together, work that out. Once we get that, and are really, really good at it, now we can start practicing some power cleans. Get set, body's tight, eyes straight ahead, up, and catch. Notice I'm shuffling my feet. Do it again. Once they get that movement down, to continue into a full clean, they need a power clean and then front squat. Clean it, catch it, full front squat. And the very last drill to get is a full power clean. Down and up. It's important that when they catch the bar in those full power cleans, that they catch, they ride that bar down to the bottom, stay tight, really, really strong, and drive up out of the hole. Okay? Very important things to remember. Your body has to stay strong the whole time. Core, back, got to be pulled together. Elbows have to be up. You cannot relax at any time during the power clean. Let's see. You can't relax. You got to stay strong, and you got to drive up. And it's important that you don't do high reps. You should never go over 5 reps with the power clean, and it's got to be progressive. Don't progress the next exercise until they're perfect at the one before. You got questions? Email me, call me, whatever you got to do.